Well, the Jewish world is today marking Tisha B'Av, the saddest day on the Jewish calendar. And to tell us more about what took place on this special date and the reasons why Jews mark it by fasting for 24 hours, I'm joined by Rabbi Ariel Konstantyn, the founding rabbi at the Tel Aviv International Synagogue. Rabbi, a pleasure to have you with us. Talk us through what is being remembered on this day that makes it such a somber one.
Well, Tisha B'Av remembers the loss of the first and second temples. The destruction of the first took place in 586 BCE by the Babylonians. The second temple on the same day on 70 CE after the Common Era by the Romans. But it's not just that. As the ensuing exile of 2,000 years until our return to Israel, many other tragedies also happened on Tisha B'Av. Coincidental or not, the expulsion of the Jews from England in 1290, the expulsion of Jews from France in 1306, the expulsion of Jews from Spain in 1492, the mass deportation began from the Warsaw Ghetto in 1942. So time and time again, we've seen tragedy after tragedy, calamity after calamity taking place, and the Jewish people suffering on this Tisha B'Av, on this 9th of Av. And therefore, we remember this day, we mark it with a fast, and mourn the tragedies that befell our people.
And what is the main message of this day? What lesson should we learn from it?
There are, I think, two major lessons. One of them is the reason why we went into exile. They say the first temple was destroyed because of idolatry, but we were only in exile for 70 years. But the second temple was destroyed by what's called sinat chinam, baseless hatred. And we're still in exile from that 2,000 years later. We still haven't rebuilt the third temple because that sin is still existing. We've repaired the sin of idolatry. That's not something that tests us as a people, but hatred unfortunately still exists, and strife and fighting and wars still abound, internal and external. And that's something, once we can repair that and we can bring ourselves together with a sense of unity and love, then we can really see a change and perhaps look forward to a new era of peace.
Right. So then just looking at the fact that we're seeing images of the Kotel, of the Western Wall, people praying there every day. What is the role of the temple in Judaism?
The temple was a number of things. It was a galvanizing force. It was a place of centralized worship, a place where we could all come together and to be one united people. It was a place where God's presence would rest, and therefore there's a place that we can really connect to on a deeper level as feeling God's presence in a more acute way, which connects us to Him and Him to us. And that's really missing without that temple. We have what's called a synagogue, which is Mikdash Ma'at. It's a mini temple, but it's not the same thing. Without God's full presence, we're lacking in this world. And we want to, the Kotel is the closest place we can get to towards the temple, to wall of the Temple Mount, the retaining wall of the Temple Mount. But we pray to be closer to God and bring God's presence more into this world. Right. And that we hope to have a third temple one day.
Right. And you talk about fostering unity and love and bringing more of that into the world. What kind of behaviours should we be then integrating into our life to ensure that we are upholding those values?
Well, we see all around the world that there's riots and there's fighting and there's terrible, people are being ripped apart, families being ripped apart by their political beliefs, left and right. This is something that we're seeing so acutely right now in our time. And this is exactly what we need to reverse. We need to respect each other for different views. We need to say that unity is not identicality. Like in the previous subject, you don't have to be the same in order to be accepted and to be loved for who people are. We always speak about Ezu Chacham Olamed Mikol Adam, which is from Ethics of Our Fathers, who is wise, who learns from everyone and respects everyone. And we can achieve so much unity through respecting our differences. And I think the world is desperate for this message right now. And I hope that the message will resonate on this Tisha B'Av.
I could not agree more. Well said, Rabbi. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Easy fast.